We walk through the landscaped front yard to the old mill next door that was originally built in 1855 as a paper mill. It is now home to antiques, the shops at 25 West, and an ice cream shop.
Next door to the stone mill there is the Little Falls Antique Center, and at the end of that building there's a brand new old-fashioned ice cream parlor. The name of the place is Old Sal's, and I didn't know where that name came from. Well, fortunately for us, we came upon these three beautiful students, and they know the source of that name. Would you kindly tell us what it is?
I have a mule, her name is Sal, 15 miles on the Erie Canal.
There it is.
If you go down to the railroad tracks, follow them away.
We venture further inland to Main Street in Little Falls. Here we visit Willman Gallery, owned by Robert Willman, a watercolor artist we featured on the show back in 2005. We stop in to see what he's been up to.
There's a barn that once held horses that in winter pulled a sleigh. It stands among the maples that were planted once.
Walking into the Willman Gallery here on Main Street in Little Falls was a very pleasant experience to see all of these artists on these walls, and then also to find that several of these artists have been featured on our shows in the past. For example, right here is Martha Deming and my friend Bart Carrick.
I've been painting, went to school for fine art, been painting for almost 20 years, and I've always framed my own work and was always interested in other artists' work. So I think opening this gallery is a little bit of both the custom framing and carrying and selling other original art. They're all from the Central New York area, the potters, the jewelers, and the painters. I think it's inspiring. I think we all feed off each other, and I like looking at other artists' work, and I think it's nice for the community to see a body of work from artists from Central New York.
She may be sitting in a field right now.
Before we go, Bob tells us we have to stop into the bakery next door that's been here for over 50 years.
I'm here at the White Rose Bakery on Main Street in Little Falls. Look at all these things: chocolate fingers, chocolate bars, tail lights, bran muffins, cinnamon muffins, blueberry muffins, everything you can imagine. I wonder if they have my very favorite thing here, namely a full moon. Do you have any full moons?
We sure do.
You do, and I
Must be your lucky day.
We take Route 167 back to Route 5S and travel east through beautiful countryside to historic Indian Castle Church. Built in 1769 by Sir William Johnson, the church still overlooks the area that was once a thriving Indian village. This area was also home to Molly Brant, one of the most influential Mohawk women during the American Revolution.
I can't tell you the hundreds of times that I've been on the thruway right over there, and from the thruway you can always see this beautiful church out in the distance. Well, it's this church. I strongly suggest you take the time to get off of the thruway and come over here to spend some time at the church. While you're here, look across the road. There's a barn, a very old-looking barn. That was Molly Brant's barn. When you come here, you'll notice on either side of the church two stones. These are stepping stones. When people arrived back in the 1800s, they would pull their carriages up here and then step off the carriage and head into church. When you are inside the church, take a close look at the architecture, particularly up at the ceiling, because it is an upside-down boat, basically. And this church has been around for quite a few years. It survived the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, and then there was a fire in 1979. That was the first time that something happened to it that could have destroyed it, but it survived that too. And you can look around and see where the fire damaged parts of it, but aside from that, it's fully intact.
Well, this was a Mohawk Indian community, and as I said before, there was 27 log houses here, and that was a heavily populated Indian community. And the Indians wanted a meeting place, so Sir William Johnson said he would build a meeting place for them. And that's why the church was built.
You can visit Indian Castle Church from dawn to dusk through September, but mark your calendars for Tuesday, September 23rd at 6:30 p.m. for refreshments and Brian Osborne's presentation regarding Molly Brandt.